Migration refers to the movement of birds or animals from one location to another location. The innovation that I'm involved with is a determination using bird data and information accumulated by the birder activity to determine the dates you can expect certain migrants to arrive and depart in our area. It basically, if you think about the arrival of birds and the number of birds that occur on each day as like a little board, and then you end up with a stack of boards that in the spring get taller and taller each day and then go down, down, down again. So you end up with a curve that looks a little bit like the standard curve that statisticians use a lot. And I basically break that down. I take the first 10% is the point, the date of that first 10% of those birds as the arrival date, and then the midpoint as the peak of the flight, and the 90% line as the departure date. There are some advantages that would be available to anybody. If you like to go outdoors, it gives you a reason to go outdoors. In addition to that, to enjoy it, I mean, you know, if you look at the data that I accumulated and you say, oh, May 10th, that's the day that the prairie warbler arrives. So let's go see if we can find a prairie warbler. You know, it becomes a challenge. There may be on the order of 320 or so species of birds that have been seen along the Indiana lakefront. A lot of birds are seen on the lake itself. They're attracted to the large body of water. In fact, probably Lake Michigan is the most important single factor on birds in our area. But other birds prefer not to fly over the lake. So when they're migrating, they say, oops, when they encounter the lake, and they turn and follow along the shores or land locally along the shore. And as a result, there's sort of a concentration of birds right along the edge of the lake. Well, there is an ecological element to it. You know, the birds are very environmentally sensitive. So if suddenly a population begins to decline, it means something's gone wrong. And the way you detect it initially is by birders not finding the number of birds they expect to find all the time. Because of Lake Michigan's presence, Northwest Indiana is one of the finest birding places in the Midwest and maybe even in the interior of the U.S. It's really special, and people drive from miles and miles. I mean, we regularly get people from Chicago and Indianapolis and Fort Wayne and Lafayette that drive up here, and people from outside of the state, people from Michigan and even further away come up to enjoy the beautiful birds that we have during migration on the Indiana lakefront.